To check if the motor is still good or not, I need to test its windings, right? I'll measure the resistance of the windings, and they should all give me the exact same reading. If there's any discrepancy, then I know the motor is bad and burnt out, okay? So, follow along to see how I measure this using the multimeter. As we know, the unit of measurement for resistance is ohms. First thing, I remove the jumper bars like this. I just left them loose here so we don't make the video too long. I take off the jumper bars. Now, just so you understand how they're laid out, they're set up like this. Here's the first winding. We said the first winding is U1 and U2, right here. Here's the start, U1, and here's U2. That's U1 minus U2. The second one, V1 minus V2. The third one, W1 minus W2. I take the multimeter, set it to ohms right here. I'll switch it over to ohms. Like I said, we're going to measure the resistance of each winding, and they need to give us the same value. If there's a big gap, then the motor's got an issue. Here's the first winding, U1 and U2. Take a look at the meter reading. There it is, 3.1 ohms. Got it? That's the first winding. Now I'll test the second winding, V1 minus V2. Let's see what this one gives us. Alright, this one is 3.0 ohms. Look, a tiny difference in the decimals isn't a problem, as long as it's not a huge gap, like a full 1 ohm or something. So, what did the second one give us? Yeah, the second winding is pretty much the same. Like I told you, a slight variance in the decimals is totally fine. Now, let's measure the third winding. Same process. Let's see what we get. There we go, 3.1 ohms. So, all three windings have the same resistance reading, which means the motor windings themselves are good, right? Now, what do I check next? I check for a ground fault. I take the 2 meter leads and look for a spot on the casing, trying to stay away from the paint, you know? Don't touch where there's paint. Find an unpainted spot, put the first lead there, and then probe these terminals. All 6 of these terminals. Normally, you could also use the continuity test or the audible beeper, but here I'm just looking for a reading. There shouldn't be any path between the windings and the motor casing. They need to be isolated from each other. You shouldn't get any reading at all this way. So, I've placed my lead right here where there's no paint. I touch the first winding terminal. Notice the meter shows nothing, open circuit. Second winding terminal, again, nothing. Third winding terminal, nothing. Fourth, right? All 3 start terminals show nothing, and all 3 end terminals show nothing to ground. So from this, I can conclude the motor is good. I measured the windings and got matching resistance values, so those are fine. I tested for a ground fault and found none, so everything looks solid. The motor is good to go.